Okay. Cryptic, say something. Can you hear me,
Yo,
Cryptic?
folks, how's it going? Can you hear me?
We'll make sure things are good, and we will begin the post show. I am a bit quiet. Yeah, this microphone in general is quiet.
You
People say they hear nothing.
don't hear me?
Oh, there.
Oh,
You are loud.
sorry.
Hold on, hold on.
Sorry.
I'll turn you
Sorry
down.
about that.
I
Can
will
you?
turn you down.
All right.
All right, I turned you down to like 66%.
Am I better?
You're probably going to have a rough time hearing me because I kept my mic all the way up.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Is Cryptic still loud?
All right.
It's fine, it's fine. Let's hear you fine. Still louder than me than my ear piercing. Okay.
All right.
All right, we'll work with this. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the VGCW Endgame X3 and the series post show. Toe here,
Cryptic
and
here.
yep, we have had quite a night
Well,
here. First off, thank
it's
you.
been a thank you guys, everyone who's watched us from the beginning during the Baza era, who joined us when Toe and his team, including me, started up until the end. Thank you for being on this long, long, strange trip with us, and I mean strange as hell. Oh Christ!
I mean, we had. I can't believe how we got all these viewers as well, over 2K at times. So for all of you who went out and shared it, I saw a lot on Twitter and such. A lot of people talking about the show on there, sharing it out. Their memories
Yeah,
and such. So for putting that out there and getting people in to see this off, um, can't thank you guys enough.
thank you guys for making this one hell of a last gasp.
So what we're gonna do is go over a few things. First off, I wanted to show you, for better or for worse, uh, well, those of you who have known us, how we try to put this together, known some of the behind the kayfabe kind of stuff. When we had the servers go down for WWE 2K14 back in October 2015, we had to pretty much panic and get a save file together of anyone who could potentially have been on the show. So I don't want to leave you hanging on who might have made it in there. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you uh, on this save file who I have on there. I know some people are gonna look at these and say, why'd you hire this guy instead of this person who you didn't call up? But we had our reasons. We're not gonna go too deep into them.
We'll make a
Sometimes you
few
just got to be the right
clips.
person at the right time.
Yeah.
So yeah, this will explain some of John's roster too. A lot of people who aren't on here that were from EBW, we kind of felt that John handled them a little better. Guys like Strong Bad, some of his quirkier guys who could probably be up here too, but sometimes I just trust the writing of other people. I don't want to completely gut John's roster either. So there was that. Anyway, let me get you into the capture, and I'll leave the watermark there for posterity. And Crypto's going to be very behind as these people come up, but now this is the save file I had. I had a separate save file just for Endgame. So all the people who you saw, like the legends and such, they're not going to be on this save file. They were on the other one. So if they're not here, that's why. We have some of them now. Anyway, we have The Rock, who had quite a battle with Waluigi, and the boinging was of questionable quality. But of
It was still one hell of a match, and Waluigi proved once and for all he is our VGCW People's Champion now and forever.
so I'm going to go into the normal match here. You can see and listen to these sounds. And just in case you guys try and read too much into things, it doesn't really matter too much, but I am not going to let you see the stats of these characters because you might think, oh, this
It's a
person has this much
secret.
overall. They were not the case. I just don't want you overreacting, is all. Anyway,
Sometimes you gotta let
John
some.
Cena was not one of the characters that we meant to call up. Sorry, yeah. let's go
Sometimes
through.
you just gotta just let things be.
Yeah, let's go
Don't get
through.
too.
Knock this out, and then we'll do our Q&A after.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we have Johnson. Well, you know about that guy. Interman we've seen. Alucard. He had a couple appearances in the show. Sir Orin from FFX. We've had him on hand. Barrett, you've seen him. And this is one of the placeholders used for the not the Game Genie, the co-op match. I had to make a couple slots just to put these guys in there because it was the only way to make it work. We have Bowser here, Breakman, and Spectre Cabanella from Ghost Trick. Win wasn't doing too well in WV, so I wasn't really sure about him. He,
We wanted to consider him just because he had such great potential for being like a backstage personality as well as in ring because he is a character.
yeah. We have Captain Falcon, Harino, Conquer. You saw him on EBW. He needed some seasoning over there. He's been getting something a little bit lately, but
And
yeah,
it's a fantastic call all around.
yeah. We have Dan
Props to
here,
Chaco for that.
Dante, Demo, Dio, Dio, Jojo. Yeah, we had him here. Just
Dio
the
speaks
thought of
for
him
himself.
using his stand and just using Solardo would be
Yeah,
crazy for
he
an
was just a
entrance.
guy of potential that we wanted on hand in case we had a thing that we could possibly use him for.
Yeah, it could have been insane, but
And you gotta
he
love that
needed
face.
something to go with it too. So
You gotta love that face either way.
we got DK here, Hagman, Mario, Dr. Mario, Dr. Robotnik, Wiley, Drac, Duke, Earl, Evie, Ezio. The fierce deity. He could have
Oh
been
yeah.
potentially an Undertaker like. We thought if we went to a 14th season, we were thinking about, potentially what we would be doing because we've thought pretty far ahead on that potential. Fierce Deity
hmm
could have been out there against Ganondorf. It would have been insane.
Fierce Deity would have been probably one of our like end season like culminations for the hypothetical season 14. We wanted to use him. We were sitting on him with the potential. It just you know things didn't work out. But we were so hyped to possibly use him eventually.
Uh,
Just,
it shows how deep this would that we could have had.
yeah,
More people, more people. Grounder. Okay, so you're wondering why Grounder looks like this. Well, he was the base that we used to make the Game Genie because we didn't have anyone else who didn't have legs. And obviously,
we
he's got
we
those
were
reindeer horns
we
on
were
there.
supposed to keep things behind the veil. Damn it, Toe.
But yeah, he's got the Christmas special gear there on, if you remember that. So Grounder was a nice base, but we completely revamped the Game Genie.
I believe that Toe actually had to remove the eyes just to get move a few things, including like the eyes or whatever, to get the antlers on for that Christmas thing, which is why he was only shown from the back, I believe.
Yep, see here he is, alternate tire Game Genie. He was hidden behind that. Guile, seen Guybrush, and the Happy Mask Salesman. He was obviously the manager. Maybe not
he
obviously,
was
but he was
going
the
to
manager
he was
for the
going to be
Fierce
the
Deity.
pallbearer. He
Yeah,
was
he
the
was supposed to,
pallbearer for Fierce Deity, literally,
exactly.
all down to the entrance.
You would see him first, then you see the deity. That's how it would go.
hmm
Heavy Ike. Ike was a very heavily requested one. He probably would have been very close if we had another season, I think.
If you had another season, Ike would have been there. Alucard already kind of had his pseudo debut, and we kind of wish we could have used him more. But yeah, Ike was definitely one of the guys on our short list,
Hmm.
like of people we actually had on
Right.
hand and we're going to use.
And here's someone also who was kind of requested as well. Jacket. Vaza,
Jacket,
we know how Vaza said about that. So,
Jacket was one of the guys that I requested personally because he has a potential to be like a completely different mute character from Red, just like like the looming, like just looming menace, and just something that kind of like almost like ideally what a Braun Strowman thing, except he doesn't talk. He just shows up and exudes like death.
pretty
And that's why I
much.
kind of wanted to work with him if we ended up using him. We never got to, but that was the reason behind him.
You gotta make these shorter, Cryptic.
Sorry,
All right,
sorry.
Jekt. We had Jekt. He's the best. He probably would have gone with Toad and Sonic if we didn't wind up getting them with Knuckles and Sabin, or maybe all five of them would have been together. But
There's
he would have been
nothing
so
more to
fun.
say. He's the best.
He would have been so fun.
Yeah.
So we had into a lot of Final Fantasy guys that we never used that were on the back here. Keeping them going here. King you saw, King DDD, another
Enough said.
EBW guy who was starting to get somewhere, I think, with John's side. So I kind of wanted to leave him over there.
He was a guy that we actually considered possibly debuting earlier, but again, he was working out in EDBW.
Yeah,
So
heavyweight and such too. You know, he could have gone with like big and such things like that. So we had him there. The God of Rest himself, Kratos. Uh, so former VGCW champion, obviously. He's got that reputation for what he did in EBW. But as you saw, he just popped back up in EBW for another run. We probably would have had him in that Game Genie fight if not for that. But I kind of want to let him do his thing over for kill screen, so we don't
mhm.
interfere too much with that. But he was here if we needed him. The Lich King, Arthas. We kind of seen how people have been with him ever since we put this up on here, you know. So
Mhm.
I think we decided to go against that in the end. So Max here, Bison, Hacker, Edgeworth, Obama, Napa, Nathan Drake, or on this case, Donut Drake. This is also probably someone that would have gone very close as well. When we needed a call up, he was one of the names that came to mind, like a top three, I think. And we probably would have had him in a situation where he, starts off thin, Nathan Drake, and then, you know, it all goes to this. So,
He
I
would have
mean,
been just big fun.
yeah, exactly. After that, Papyrus, and obviously
Enough said.
this means Sans must be here as well. Yeah, Undertale, that was big around the time that this whole uh, save was created, and I played it on stream at the time too. But
You're the reason why a lot of people in this community probably know about Undertale. To begin with.
to start, but yeah, we didn't
Yeah.
use them because EBW, they were all over that place, and John was doing all the text effects and everything too, and that's
Mhm.
too much work for me. So, yeah, they've been good over there in EBW. I didn't want to gut them. Phoenix. Oh, just so you can see Ryan's sort of portrait. Oh God, it doesn't look right in this. No. Yeah, you can see Ryan's thing here, but if you look in the match itself, or if I go into like the call creator, I'll probably do that if I remember. I'll show you. It doesn't look like this actually. So this game's really weird. That's not how
Yeah.
his armor looks in a match. Raijin, Red, Ryan, Ridley, Ring a Bell. You guys know about my Bravely Default bias, so yeah, he was here just in case. I wasn't. He was kind of like a last second thing. So I'd say one of the last in on the save. That's probably a little too of a personal pick on that, but there he is. Campbell, Sabin, Sands, yeah, pretty much seen this with Pirates there. Scorpion, Scratch. Obviously, if Grounder was here, so was Scratch. But again, EDBW lagging there. Don't do that again.
Sorry.
uh, Sagata Sanshiro, Cypher, Armstrong, Shovel Knight. He's also come very very close. Back when we were doing the King of the Beach tournament, we were considering having Shovel Knight either be in the tournament or be linked to the person who won the tournament. But after him being with Arthas all that time, he really needed to set out on his own, and John was starting to do that, so I didn't want to pull out the rug, and so I just kind of let it roll. But I'd say probably top three, maybe top five on who would have gone in next.
hmm
So he's still there in EBW, so give him a look. Cheer this dude on. Shulk, Ryan's buddy. This is before we even had the idea for Ryan and Shulk going together, so Ryan and Shulk could have been something together, but I kind of wanted to mix it up, and I felt like Ryan brought a little more to the table. So Shulk might have been a little. And the other thing is that I haven't played Xenoblade Chronicles either. So, I mean, I can work with Ryan well enough, but I don't know if I would have pulled off Shulk. So it's kind of like a confidence thing too.
Yeah.
Sigma, if you know your indies, I'm going to say indies on stream. Well,
Oh no.
if you've seen the shows that other people in the community have put together, Sigma's been a very popular one, and a lot of those big villain.
Sigma's been a workhorse.
So uh, we couldn't really find a place for him because we had our villains pretty much set. If you need like a season
Yeah.
villain for like the very end, maybe he could have thrown in there. But yeah, it was good to have him on hand. Sly Cooper, amazing call from Chaco. So we could have had thieves and such and all that, but there's only so many plot scenes you have with like thievery.
Hmm.
So it's like stealing a title, and we did that already with Wily and Eggman or Robotnik, and you have the scene where you pick up the briefcase and run. That's really it. So how much can you really do with them? It's a great looking call, but it's a matter of what can we do with them. Still amazing. Would have been nice if we found a use for them. Snake, Sonic, the spy. As you saw, we were sitting on Robotnik being the spy for a good while. It wasn't the idea at the very beginning when we brought Robotnik in, but we were thinking that he was going to be someone at the very end, so we went
Yeah,
with him.
and Spy also had just a lot of utility for that exact kind of plot. Eventually, I mean, we pulled the trigger on that with Robotnik, but yeah.
And there's another placeholder for the co-op title match card. If you've seen that forum post, Toad Jam, Travis Touchdown, King Vegeta, Beautiful Joe. He's had a good run ever since SNST, even back with his match with Sonic. In fact, in the
Hmm.
ladder match, one of the more legendary moments of this whole thing. But he's been doing pretty well with EVW, and he's coming very close to getting a title and such. I want him to get there, so I left him for that. So hopefully, with what's left, maybe he sneaks in there, but we'll see. Bicycle
That
Deck,
time.
Waluigi, Wario, Zangief, Zubaz, and there's Blood Falcon still here. That's it. And we did have a few people who I wound up having to clear off on the save file just to make room for placeholders and such because we only had so many calls. We had to remake a lot just to put it on this.
And some guys we were kind of already sure that we weren't going to end up getting around to using, no matter how long we went, whether we went for the 14th or not.
Yeah, so actually it looks like there's only two based on the list I got here. We
Hmm.
had Enzo Matrix from Reboot, which was way out of left field, but you have that
I lobbied for that just because it's all about fighting the game.
exactly. And with how we went with the Game Genie and the Game Shark and those kind of ideas, it might tie into it. But we thought he
We
might
just
be
never
a
got
little
around to it.
not that recognizable. It was very out of left field.
Yeah.
And the other one that I had on here was oh yeah, Mr. Sandman. In case you wanted to get another Punch Out rep, but Little Mac had already left, so it would be kind of poor taste if Mac went down and Sandman came up. But in case maybe the both of them were up there, they could have had a nice
Yeah.
boxing fight. But he was one of the first we kind of said, let's not go with this one.
Hmm.
Anyway, that's it for the cause. So let me swap back over to this scene here. All right, so let me set something up here.
To be fair, Zubaz was eventually in a game. So,
Yeah,
but I mean,
Die
for
Kick and Shovel Knight.
mhm.
That giant robot game. There was that too. Hold on a sec. I'm seeing up here. Okay, so as I mentioned, I want to do some Q&A, but this background's kind of boring. I feel like we should have something going on in the
But what?
back. You know,
Huh.
maybe there's a match that a lot of people had hoped would happen at some point on this show.
Hmm. Something we've teased already, right?
Something that might be happening sooner than we think. We'll have that going on, and we'll show off a little something that you might have seen the following season if we had gotten to it. So let's if I set this all up here.
Let's peer into an alternate dimension where we ended up going for one more season and show you one of the most requested matches, possibly rematches, that you guys have been waiting for.
And we're going to keep the volume very low because you got to hear us. I'm not going to have any music playing.
Mm-hmm.
We'll let it run. Welcome to VGCW Endgame 14. Here we go. And the sound is way low. Yeah, we wanted this match to happen very badly, and we know you did too. So, you get this. One final time.
One more time.
Yeah, so that was the logo that Bryn made. It's obviously the 2K1414 there.
But we thanks to Bryn for making all of those logos for us. We sat on them for fucking ever, wanting to use them, and
so we'll let this run. I'm going to take some Q&A, but I'll have one thing before I start that as well. Season 14. If you remember, I mentioned that we were going to go season 14 potentially. It was just an idea. Well, we kind of had to silently drop that one, unfortunately, because a lot of things changed after we came up with that idea. You know, we had BWA get revived. We had the 2K17 announcement for WV. Brent stepping down. John deciding he's gonna step down, and you know, I kind of figured my motivation was gonna be gone after season 13. So,
and yeah. I wasn't sure if I was the right guy for any that head the show going on forward, so I declined for that.
But the concept was going to be that season 14 is that every person on staff was going to run their own episode. It was going to be a short episode. It was going to be based around the What If machine. It was going to be a series of What If machines. So you'd have one episode, I would run that, and it would just be a what if of what if this person ran a show. What if this person ran a show? And they booked the matches and all the plot. It would just be, you know, episodes, single
self-contained.
Episodes. Yeah, self-contained. That's the word.
Self-contained parallel universes. Like, for a hypothetical, before what happened at Survival happened, my idea, if it went to 14, was it was going to involve Travis and Dante going into the What If machine and going into a world where Zubaz was the dominant champion. And wait, what the fuck is this shit? Zubaz champion? This is the worst timeline.
Yeah, really. Well, that was something we could have tried, but we were even trying to rope Baza in there. But we decided, you know, people were kind of doing their own thing a lot as well. So, and a lot of us were kind of on the outs, I think. Yeah. So I didn't want to force people into it. So it was a cool idea, I think, but it just, there's a lot that needed to happen to make it all work.
If something goes on forward, I mean, we already have enough people who are trying their own thing. We're going to have spiritual successors out the ass. So.
Anyway, so yeah, questions in chat, by all means, throw them in. I'm ready to go. We'll keep it going until this match is over, maybe a little beyond that too. But.
Just to make it easier, if you could add us in the chat so we can see the question easier, fish through the chat rather than like having to...
Zubaz losing pre-recorded. We had situations for the Genie either way. And that goes for both the VGCW and the co-op. So whoever the champions were going into those matches, we were prepared with plot and all that such either way.
As far as Justin Roberts, we actually ended up getting a lot of help from one of our community members and one of our group members, Don Gilgamesh, who actually met Justin Roberts at WrestleCon, I believe.
Yeah,
And
WrestleCon before WrestleMania down in Orlando, just a little while ago. So Doc messaged me on Twitter saying I have a really stupid idea. What would you want to do to have Justin Roberts do a voiceover for your show? And we were like, oh God, he could do like the main event or something. So we got the information. I sent an email to Justin Roberts' manager, and we got things going together. I commissioned him to do it. Gave him the lines we wanted to say, and he gave us 4 different takes. After getting new audio recording gear and all that too, he waited until that was coming in.
he even added the arena effects for us.
Yeah, the echo effects. I just pretty much put it straight into the match, and just kind of raised the levels for a little bit of parts, and it came out wonderful. So kudos to Justin Roberts and his manager for professional work on that, and thanks to Doc for hooking us up.
You have no idea how much me and Toby, when we received it, it was like, God, this is actually real. Oh my God.
Also, people are adding VGCW instead of us because they've never seen the show before.
Don't not at VGCW, at either Cryptic MCM or Toe, or is it the Toe?
Me there. Me with the sword.
Okay, the Toe.
Yeah,
okay, yeah.
Yours in there. How'd you come up with the Game Genie idea? Was it on the table for a while? Yes. We were thinking it was going to be an evolution of the Game Shark, but trying not to be a retread by trying not to do like the Game Shark effect, you know. We wanted to just kind of go on further with that. We planned a good deal ahead on some stuff for plot ideas because, you know, you could do plot. Oh God, all these ads now. Okay, yeah, so we had to think ahead pretty much.
Is there anything you would?
I'm keeping that to my grave. I'm sorry. Blood Money, I am mixed on. I'm not proud of it. I know some people still hold something against me for that. I understand that. At the same time, it's been over a year. I kind of wish we were past it.
Yeah.
I don't really want to open up that Pandora's box. So, you know.
First thing, favorite members of the VGCW roster.
Breakman and Arino. Breakman, I mean, I've loved him since he was Proto Man in the Boz era, and Arino right there too. Those are my top 2, doing the commodity segments and all that. Always fun.
For me, Nappa was just fucking balls out fun to write for, so he's one of my favorites. As far as in-ring, man, Arino is definitely one of them. And I would also have to say, just Octodad was always fun whenever he was in the ring.
Let's see. What is your plan now that VGCW has ended? I've had a lot of personal stuff come up this past season, and that's been part of an influence of why I wanted to step down, just kind of focus more on my real life. And I also just want to get some free time back, too. I have not been able to play video games a lot.
Yeah.
Because I'm in a community full of people who play video games. I'm hearing them talking about stuff that I have no time to play. It's kind of... I haven't played Persona 5 in over 2 weeks, and I've been meaning to play that game for years. So...
And I still need to play it myself.
I want to jump right into that.
2 things. First, the poster. One of our community members, Maniac. He is the one who drew that. He's the one who's done a lot of the fan art for VGCW, including Lucina, a.k.a. Lucina in the Cena shirt. Thanks to him for doing all that artwork. We are really happy he did such a really good job with that poster. We had to feature it some way. And what I plan on doing past, I'm still kind of on the hook. I'm not doing anything in 14, like planning on it right now. I'm still thinking about what I'm going to do, but I mean, I still want to do something for the channel eventually, and we have things like Fire Pro World coming up. I want to possibly maybe do something involving that, maybe something more New Legacy style. We'll see. I might not end up doing anything, but you never know. Future's open.
Wait, what did Ganon just... Did he reverse the comeback?
Let me see here, because I'm behind you.
Well, how about that? All right.
Oh
so...
no, it was the glitch. It was the tweaking out with that.
Okay. So is VGCW being handed over to another team? No. The reason being is that pretty much everyone else on staff had been working on another show, and I did not want to kind of force them out of that because this is stuff that they built up a lot too, and I don't want to really hand it off. If anyone wants it on the staff, or they want to bring someone on who might step it up and they want to bring it back, they could go for that. But it's we haven't had a lot of interest in this kind of stuff for a little while, so it was kind of time, I think personally.
And
But
like I
people
said,
want to
we
keep
already
doing
have.
it. I mean, people want to keep doing it. Belmont and such, kudos to them. Personally, I'm kind of with 14 at this point. I hope people still keep tuning in, and I hope people stick it out.
I
These
mean,
guys do hard work, and you're crazy, but
yeah, I mean, big props to the WV team. They always make really good shows. They deserve a lot more views. And like I said before, we already have like a lot of spiritual successors, a lot of like people doing their own thing. Something's gonna fill the void eventually.
if you could pick a dream
Um,
match between a VGCW character and a real life character, what would it be? I already did it. Waluigi versus The Rock. Thank you.
yeah. Mine. Oh, I don't. I mean, I kind of already had mine like earlier in one of the WWE versus VGCW matches, Cage versus Miz. So there's that. Um,
Let's see. Gone for good or gone for a long time? I'd say as far as staff such goes, probably gone for good with 2K14. I might stick around for community stuff, but I'm going to take probably a good break.
Chiming in, WV means WVGCW, Women's Video Game Championship Wrestling. That's the show done by Bryn, Doom, and Naughty. They're the ones who feature the female wrestlers on our side, and they do really good work, and they deserve a view when they make their show. So watch them sometime, guys.
I'm going to quick fire a few because we've been running behind a little. Talk about
Yeah.
Season 12 a bit. How'd you react to Shadow crap in the bed? Poorly. That enough said. What do you think of the move to 2K17? Good luck to them. I mean, I've seen some amazing cause come out of that, and amazing work. That I didn't know if there were going to be like a big community push on getting cause together again, but it's been pretty impressive so far. So if they keep going on that and they get a roster together and they make plot work, awesome. It'll be a good something fresh for a lot of people. So best of luck to them. But I don't know a lot about 2K17. I've been focused on this show, so I haven't really been able to dig into it. What's about Shermer Rumble? I haven't seen much of that. I know people mention that. Personal favorite match from Endgame 13. Oh, God. Can I say the Game Genie? Is that cheating?
Oh.
I wanted the Boing Sync too. I think Snake Armstrong actually might have been it.
Yeah, that was really good. Just way everything synced up was just really fantastic.
I can't concentrate on the Q&A. This match is too good. Good. Glad we put this up together. This is something... Yeah, I think someone asked earlier, who do we want to win Survival? I wanted Bowser. I wanted Ganon Bowser. I wasn't going to force it. I needed it to happen. And it came so close. But...
My personal choice would have been Ezio. I was glad to see him in the final 6, and he got so close. And that final match between Ezio and final showdown between Ezio and Flint for their block was really good. But it is what it is. It came out into something magical. So
okay,
you can't really argue with the game sometimes.
How long did it take to put together the Game Genie match? All right, so
take it away.
You saw about 85 wrestlers in a one-on-one match with the Game Genie, each recorded, lasting about 4 to 5 minutes, with loading time, no entrances. So I spent maybe a good 8 hours just recording the matches. Cryptic was in the chat with me. And then it was a matter of piecing it all together. I wound up grouping the moves together, trying to find what moves against certain people would have looked really good. Like people getting hit by their own moves, or people getting hit by a move like that's from a rival, things like that. Finishers being spammed left and right. I spent pretty much the last week doing that. I guess the last week, full work week. So yeah, all out. Um, oh, we got a cover.
Oh, all right.
That's it.
Let's,
Oh, that was a match for the record books. The
Oh
WWE
let me
my.
see.
Universal will be buzzing
Just one of the
about this
questions.
one for a
Why didn't
while.
we include more wrestling characters? Part of the magic of VGCW was the fact that we were getting characters who were completely out of like the out of the blue in this weird ass like medium. Like just part of the magic of like older wrestling was just you know character like people who had no real business being in a wrestling ring, and somehow thriving. And part of it is just guys like Tizok, they were just impossible to make. That's the fact of it.
He gets a
But
big
again, seem on
victory
there
here
very,
tonight.
very low.
Love him or hate him, that was an incredible match. Tremendous performances put
Let's
on tonight.
see.
Thanks for joining us, ladies and gentlemen.
Is that why there was a house show? Yes, I needed all the time I could possibly get to work on Endgame. And I still had to put a lot just to put towards that home and the house show. So having
It
that extra
also
time was essential because we worked all the way until last night when Cryptic finished rendering the credits at 2 in the morning.
the
So,
credits took far longer than I thought they would.
ever wish
But
you
yeah,
went recorded and rigged all your matches like I do? No, because it would not be as fun for me to watch the show. I would know everything.
part part of the magic was letting it be spontaneous.
How
No
many?
banning, no banning. Go away, Razor.
How many of those 85 matches did the Game Genie win lose? All right, so Game Genie's record out of approximately 85 matches was 1 in 84. The one person he beat was Waluigi. If you go back and you watch the Game Genie versus everyone, watch what happens right before Biker Jordan comes out. That was Waluigi getting legit pinned. I cut it off just before the 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone else took him down. I was shocked. Some took a while to pull it off, and I was worried it was going to be someone else, but Waluigi going down.
Keep in mind, this is the Waluigi who beat The Rock.
Yeah. I wound up re-recording it later just so we can get a pinfall, but the first time. Were there any matches you wanted to see but just never got the chance to make it happen? Well, the one you see on the screen right now is pretty much the one that's right there in the forefront to me. Ryden and Armstrong as well, because, canon matchup, obvious reasons. We were considering doing that for the go-home, but we wanted to get people booked one last shot. So, that couldn't really come together.
When Kaneko Man, again, we wanted characters who came out of the wrestling sphere just for just to make it entertaining. And also, Kaneko Man is he's a bit too ugly. Yeah. Let's see what other.
What was my greatest regret? Besides Shadow. I don't know. I mean, I really liked 11 and 13. We had a good finish at the end. It wasn't as good as 11, I think, for the course of the season, but we made it work. I think. I mean, aside from Shadow, we're probably just personally trying to deal with that a little better. Is probably, that's kind of a cop-out answer. I just think I wish I'd handled myself a little better too during that. Not so much how it happens, but.
That one aside, I think part of it is just we ended up not using a lot of the guys we did bring up more often just because of time constraints. King was one of the guys that we had been sitting on for a while. He was actually possibly one of the things we were leading up to for the King of the World tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And we just never got around to it because, his time constraints, plot constraints. We wanted to get him more matches. We just never got around to it. Same with Alucard. Alucard, we gave him the last gasp with him fighting Dracula. We just had no slots in to make more use of him. Favorite WV, EDBW, BWA guys?
WV, well, I've had that connection with Adia ever since she got up there, so obviously I've got to go with her. I was a big fan of Tara as well, like most people when she started. BBW, well, you've pretty much seen the guys I've put there on the list. I think Shovel Knight's probably up there. People that we didn't get a chance to call up, you know, were probably my favorites. I've been also liking York as well. I hope he winds up winning. Come on, Sean.
Far as guys who I didn't personally make, just because, you know, obvious bias, for WV, Chie has always been just one of my favorites. She's just been great all around. I mean, I was glad to see her win the title. EBW, I know this is a weird choice, but fucking Goomba's entrance is one of those things that, like, the early magic, just when EDBW started, and like, or just when I saw that call first thing, it's just, it had me rolling the very first time it happened, just because it was such a perfect entrance. Like, it's still, I still think it's the most perfect entrance that's been made, and this is the guy who made Johnny Cage. Remember that. So, and far as BWA, holy crap, Madden is just entertaining as hell every time he's on the screen.
Madden was up there. I liked Grunt as well. Grunt's kind of strange, but I've always liked those kind of guys, you know. So I wish I honestly had a chance to watch a little more BWA than I can, though, because things always got busy for me on Sundays. I can catch what I could on the rebound, but free time, man. Between this and working, I work a 9 to 5. You know, there's only so much time I can devote to all this. Will VGCW possibly return for a mini-series event? I mean, never say never, but I don't have any plans at the moment.
Again, never say never. So someone might pick it up eventually and do a one-shot thing. I don't think VGCW, as it currently was, as we run it, is going to be returning in any kind of long-form thing. But again, you never know. There could be one-shot returns down the line eventually. We will just have to see. And far as Doom Guy, because I've seen that question several times already pushed in there. Want to take that, Toe?
It was just a common thing that I saw people say, you know. Maybe Doom Guy shows up and you cut it off at the end. I'm like, all right, sure, do that.
It was just the perfect way to cap it off, and we did kind of want to leave things in the sense of we're not going forward with this. Those guys in the ring, their world is continuing on without us. We're not the ones cutting it off. We're just the ones closing the window to it.
What was your favorite season of the Baza and Attitude Era? Season 3 probably for me, and 4. I mean, 3 and 4 are commonly thought of as like peak VGCW, because the tournament I was getting really into the show as well, because I helped make the brackets for that, for the great tournament when that was happening. So, you know, I was getting involved. Drac coming out, yeah.
And the Drac pack for season 4 was just, yeah.
Or they continuing off script. Someone said, yeah, are they continuing just off script? Yeah, that's the plan. Gandorf is still champ. This guy here. 3 and 4 was the great tournament to determine the GM, and then 4 was because the tournament didn't get a finish because Dan interrupted it on behalf of Dracula. Dracula pretty much took a coup, and how they toppled him. Those were amazing seasons.
It was WrestleMania.
And just getting to use that theme again for Endgame X1 for the title match, that was cool.
Yeah. Special props to, speaking of that, special props to Binback again for all the remixes he's made, especially that one he made specifically for the Phoenix Drac match.
Yeah, I'm going to mention more of that when we do the thanks rundown, but yeah, thanks to him. So, let's see, your favorite Game Shark hack in Season 11. Man, my mind's kind of mush right now.
Yeah. The one, I will say, like, it's hard to pick out a favorite. The one that we obviously regret the most is the Upside Down match, because I legitimately got vertigo after that one. But one of the favorites, just because it was just so weird. Just in conception, the Casablanca one.
Yeah,
Like
that
I.
was one of the strange ones.
Oh, also, the big head match, just because of what we ended up getting into, like, and managing to actually wrap that into plot stuff somehow.
Yeah, I don't know if I can really just pick just one because I wound up having to work on a lot of them. I think just anything that was fun to work on was good.
Yeah.
How long exactly? How long were you sitting on Bikerdorf? I mean, I'm the one who unleashed him on Arena and the first time, dude. It was a matter of just finding the right time, and it was just stalling, stalling, stalling. He got into the championship scene, and he was going to get like the double champion entrance for this match, and you can't do that with the bike. So we've been wanting to fit it in forever, and it's like, all right, screw it. He comes out during the Game Genie match, recovered or whatever, to fight it. So he had to get in there sooner or later.
I me like me and like Brandon on there. We actually kind of, I believe we tried to lobby several times for a possible Ganon face turn where he would turn into Biker Dwarf. We just never got around to it, but
He
that
was
was
doing other
one of the things.
stuff.
Yeah.
He had Money in the
Oh,
Bank for a while. He's pretty much been the title scene ever since Blood Money. So,
mhm.
he's been kind of doing his thing. Okay, so, oh yeah, here was like one that was asked a couple times. Uploading the archives for the ones that got taken down. Yeah, I do have those videos on hand. It's just been a matter of getting time to do it. So, when I'm rested and recuperated, I'll throw that up on the YouTube. So, yeah, the
Um,
seasons parts of 2 through 4, I will get that back up because that was peak stuff, and I
yeah.
know that's got to be up there.
Favorite match and spot in VGCW. I don't know about favorite match. One of my favorite spots is still one of the most iconic spots, I think, in the entire series. That extended moment of sync in the final like match between the Drac Pack and Van Pound. That was like one of the most iconic moments of sync. Just where like when sync was still kind of like being like brought up as like, oh shit, this is happening right to the music. This is amazing.
Moments of sync. Mm,
Hold on,
let's see.
while you think about that, favorite horrible glitch? You mean favorite awesome glitch? And I will say Goomba mode, or AKA Curly mode. But yeah,
I think the Blood Falcon's in that 6-man screwing up because the game doesn't know how to handle the same claw doing a tag move with itself. That
yeah.
was pretty weird. Lifeline, yeah, I do want to return to that. My schedule is really tied up for the next week or so, but I'm got a few days in mind potentially. I could do it Thursday, um, to the usual 7 p.m. Eastern, right here. I could do it Saturday, but it would have to be in the afternoon. My birthday is Sunday, actually. I am not going to be around. BWA is also that day as well. So, good luck with Belmont on the official relaunch of VWA there with Season 3. And I'm actually going to Chicago next week. So, I'd have to fit it in there. Yeah, Mother's Day, all that. May's always a really busy month for me. My dad's birthday is Friday. So yeah, my dad and I have birthdays 2 days apart, and my mom's Mother's Day. So all three of us in my family have something in like a 3 day span. It's crazy. Uh, yeah. Are you gonna pursue that Giant Bomb thing? I think they actually already hired someone for that. I never heard back, but then again, when you submit a resume to CBS Interactive saying that you run a video game wrestling show, and you're hoping that it gets past them to get to like Vinny Carabella, maybe the
It's always a
chances
long
are,
shot, I
yeah.
guess.
But I mean, you never know. I have an IT job; it's pretty steady right now, and we'll see what goes on.
Anyways,
Any talent you were reluctant to book in certain scenes because of your power ranking or audience backlash, maybe like Nappa, yeah, Nappa, the Saiyans too in general in the tag scene, and then we unleash them and look what happens. This is what we
and
feared.
also there's the dragons who we had issues with, which we
but we could have
had
handled
to
that
do the
better.
comp.
We could have
Yeah.
handled that better. I know people have told us about, Salvation Ops that you didn't handle that well. I think that when you mentioned biggest regret before, it'd probably be how we handled that.
Mm.
I think it was a good team up. It's just that we couldn't really get the plot scenes to really be what it was, and we kind of tried to paint the dragons a little too badly. I think we kind of forced that, and it rubbed the wrong way. The dragons deserved a little better than that.
Favorite arena designs. One of my favorites was um, crap. What is the name? I don't know why I'm like um, faltering on Midgar from World Tour is
World
one of
Tour
my
in
favorites.
general, World Tour in general, man, that was crazy to do.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can pick one. I really don't. Um, I think maybe there was a bit of charm to like Japan, just by having like the Ribera Steakhouse logo and WE 2K14 logo on it.
Yeah.
Just kind of like weird stuff like that.
I really wish there was the option to have like the full pad turnbuckle like in New Japan for that ring, just for full authenticity. But yeah, and that and it gave us Japanifornia, which
Yeah. Where'd the Duke Love go? It's not that I didn't love him. It's just a matter of trying to find out what to do with him. And I think the WV guys hit it on perfectly, just having him over there and having
Mhm.
him, womanizing and such. Because, he's been an ass kicker for a long time, but he's been up and down all over. And what more can I just do with that? And then the guys at WV gave him one hell of a new lease on life, really, with the scene with Mama and
You
Morrigan.
just have to run
At
with it.
at home callbacks pretty much too.
Yeah.
So that's gonna get to me.
It was worth running for just because it was something new we could latch onto and make something out of, and Duke is one of those guys who just deserves something to do all the time, so why not use it?
Yeah. So props to the guys at WV for making them work. They
Mhm.
deserve the credit for that. Let's see. What are the Game Shark gimmicks you tried that didn't really come out well in scraps? I think we kind of ran thin near the end, so we pretty much went with just about anything that came to mind that seemed like a decent idea. Nothing that we really committed to and stopped. I mean,
Mhm.
everyone talks about like the Vice Airman upside down. That was a bad idea. I mean, yeah, it seems in my head a little better than it actually was.
It was a good concept, but seeing it in there, like, and when people were getting sick, like, okay, this was actually a mistake. Oh,
Uh, any favorite chat memes? I mean, 6. It was great. Pretty much anything from the beginning. Early VGCW chat was just fun in general. So there's a
yeah,
ton of that, and that's what kept me here. This
and
is different.
also, the enduring ones like Mr. Target, Dear Lord, Skull King, just those little things that just were easy to bring up and just got you into the chat.
Hmm. Will there be VGCW at home one-off shows? I probably don't think so. That's run
Everything's
its
burnt
course.
down.
Yeah,
Everything's burnt down already.
I mean you can build it up, but we killed Roll. So favorite character gimmick, Breakman. I, you know, all bias on that. Favorite
Favorite
boys.
favorite character gimmick easily King Vegeta and the Court for me. They
Hmm.
were just really fun to write for.
Any clause you didn't like writing but kept because of fans supported them? I don't think I really had that. I tried to find the best I could out of anyone, really. And, yeah.
Well, like for an example on that, like Airman was kind of a bit difficult to write for, especially when he ended up winning the number one contendership for season 11. But we kind of just ended up latching on to an idea after some like banning about with it, like between the group, and just kind of like latched on to something that we thought ended up really compelling, and it actually spiraled out into something really fun to write for after that.
Was King of Carlos ever considered? I think at the time we put the save together, he still wasn't back in EBW. And he hadn't had a very good run in Star Road, so he was kind of on a low point, so I don't think we
Hmm.
considered him
Yeah.
then. What was the first call I ever made for this? Well, the one that actually got in the show, that was Toad. And the funny story about behind that one is that basically the people in the Skype call, I think it was Skype at the time, conspired to get Toad in the show. Baza was talking to some of the guys, and they just went and got Toad, like out of nowhere. And then I'm watching the show. They haven't told me anything yet. And I see, oh, there's Toad. Wait, Toad?
We were sworn to secrecy. We were sworn to secrecy by Baza after he decided to grab Toad, and we were waiting on pins and needles for that penny to drop.
And the thing is that I had talked to Bryn like months prior, and he was planning on bringing Toadette, so I thought she was going to be the first one I wound up getting in there, and it wound up being Toad. So, of all the combinations, it wound up being those two. Later, Belmont. What'd you have in your roster? I know neither of those two guys super well, Tekka.
Hold
Horse
on.
Party I've been wanting to play, but there's a lot of things I've been wanting to play, and I don't know whenever I'll get to it. Backlog is amazing.
I mean, some of the restricting things regarding deciding who gets in, who gets considered is recognizability. That's kind of the thing, and also just how easily they could be to write for. And by the time midway through season 11, thing had to be finalized for sure.
Yeah.
So we really weren't at length to just think up and make calls at some point, unless they were really specialty things like the Game Genie.
All right, I'm gonna do probably 3 more minutes, and then we'll get to things. I don't want to keep this going forever and ever, But we do have to call it off at some point. Or any characters that had story plans that potentially had to be held off or nixed. Well, when we were planning ahead to season 14, not the what if season 14, but legitimate season 14, and we were thinking of potentially having Ganon wind up becoming Demise, and there will be Bowser becoming Dry Bowser, and it will wind up being those two fighting at the end of season 14. I think that was the big idea that we had there. Certain things with the Patriots might have gotten involved with that just to kind of keep that going as the overarching thing, but yeah.
We also were banning about who would be the great hero, because Fierce Deity was not really an option. Might not have been an option for that, just because he's not really a hero. He's kind of a force of nature. We were trying to find people who embodied VGCW the most, and one of the ones I suggested was Waluigi, because he's the people's champ.
Yeah, having an unlikely hero at the end. But we kind of got this here, with
we kind of got it
for it.
Yeah.
And then everyone going in for it at the end. So I think those elements of the original 14 we had in mind kind of got back into 13 and kind of combined with that.
Favorite call of the list that people did that I didn't make for people to hire. King was one of them. King was one of the guys I really wanted to use so much.
That's why we brought him in.
He's just an amazing
call. That's why we brought him in too. I know he didn't wind up winning any matches, and that's unfortunate. But he was a really good-looking call, and I didn't want to leave him hanging.
Yeah.
Because he needed to wrestle to really show it up. Because Policenaut's been saying this. He's 90% accurate to his moveset in Tekken. So it was a great call. I wish he wound up winning something, even just one match. He got a pin annoyed in the house show for whatever that's worth. Probably not very much, but he was
again one of the guys I really wish we could have done more with. Favorite classic VGCW song, Wanderer on the Offensive, bar none.
That is very much up there. I played that a good deal. I might say it too, but again, my mind is mush right now. So, the Patriots plot. Okay, yeah. This kind of went all over the place, and I know even if you watched the show, you're probably thinking, "Wait, what?" It's a Metal Gear plot for one. We knew we were gonna have plot holes at the very end of this, and we had Cran on set too, and he wound up dropping as well, and he kind of held a lot of that together too. But we decided to keep running with that, and maybe some things got lost along the way of that, but. The idea is that the Patriots were kind of starting things from the very beginning with VGCW. Note how Snake was involved in a lot of stuff early on. Why was that happening? The Patriots. That was our explanation for it. You know, we were trying to use the Patriots initially as like an explanation for every weird unresolved thing from the Bowser era, just to like try and close all that off. It didn't really wind up getting all that
Like,
much closure in the end, but you know, that was the main idea to try
just
and get in that.
I mean, just the idea was that the Patriots would be gathering all these powerful people in one place and just kind of like fostering them into like something like a PMC, like that was prominent in the Metal Gear games. And we kind of like alluded to that with the Octodad thing. Like, he's a guy that he's a fucking octopus who can fight and thrive. Why? That's just like that's a special thing that you can't find anywhere else, and you want to cultivate that. And one of the things that I think that one of the threads we were possibly thinking of with the Game Genie stuff that we kind of dropped just for simplicity's sake was like the Game Genie, like possibly like actually possessing or like assimilating with the people who were like chosen to be the most powerful, like the survival, like people survivors or whatever. But we just couldn't get around to it just because it would have made things too complicated.
Yeah, I mean, we had high ambitions that we couldn't reach. I mean, you know, no big deal. It's convoluted in the end, and that's all right. I don't think this thing has to be taken
Yeah,
that seriously anymore, especially after season 12. We realized, you know what, we need to not be so serious. We can still come up with some really crazy stuff.
we need to be looser. We need to be
Yeah.
looser about things. Yeah, so
hmm Favorite match of any show? Man, I gotta pick one. I have to pick one.
that's really hard. Yeah. I mean, just off the top of my head, Illidan Armstrong Iron Man Endgame 10 was just fucking balls out. That ending was amazing.
That's very much
And
up there.
then you had the other like famous Iron Man matches like the Red Scorpion and Red Drac. I mean, just Scorpion Drac. I mean,
I think even Edgeworth Demo Man back in EDVW, that's kind of part of the reason why I had this match for Endgame, because it's a match that we never got to have to happen on VGCW. It wasn't going to be as good as those, but it came out pretty well, I thought, so I was happy with it.
the Game Genie code at the end. I forgot
Yeah,
which one that was exactly was.
it was an infinite continues code. Basically, it was trying to use that to prevent Bison from getting to it while also reviving itself. If you looked at the colors, you've seen it kind of powering down over the course of it because it was fighting the champions. That's another thing that we didn't really explain too well, I thought. The champions, them and the belts, you know, that combination is what brought the Game Genie's power levels down from like the static with the green screen to the blue to the black after the co-op champions fought them, and that was what enabled the rest of EGCW to, you know, get to him in the end. So that's what we were shooting for. I'll give you one last shot for questions, but we got to get wrapping up here.
We gotta wrap it up here. Yeah.
If you got any good ones, I'm not gonna answer every single one, but if you have any really good one here, toss it out now. Otherwise, we're gonna call it. Any game devs or industry people ever wanted you to put certain characters in? No, we never got requests like that.
I mean, the only thing close to that was the TwitchCon thing.
Yeah.
Right? And that was
TwitchCon.
its own self-contained thing.
Yeah. How big is Batista's pick? Ask your mama.
Ask CM Punk. He's the one that knows.
Yeah, Jim Ross had a good answer to that. That was the best one. Doom Guy Win? You got him already. You had him for like 2 seconds. Is Gan truly the greatest of all time? Well, look at him. Any life advice for us? Enjoy stuff. Try to enjoy stuff. That's VDCW charm, man. Just
find something you have a passion for, because like you never know what you might end up learning from it.
enjoy stuff and roll with it. That's what I think.
Most enjoy writing for, like I mentioned already, Nappa and the Court was my absolute favorite to write for. They were just fun to do.
Breakman was good, and Arino's segments as well.
Oh yeah, the Tamages were great to do. Yeah.
We wanted to do one for Endgame, but we ended up having to cut it because we just did not have the time to put it all together.
The plan was that Areno would end up visiting Next Level Games in Brooklyn.
Yeah, probably with Bisamaru, and this is going to be before the co-op match, and it was going to probably end with the way of him saying like goodbye, like he wasn't going to have a
As if
match,
it was
and
the
then he
last
pops
thing.
out.
Yeah.
It'd be like a double fake out of sorts. Favorite comeback upset match? Gan and Octodad, of course.
Oh God, yeah.
That wouldn't be an upset now though. Octodad's been really good. Amazing.
Octodad was silently stringing together a lot of good wins. Same with Ezio.
I wish he got a
Like,
title.
yeah.
I wish he got a title. How many rewrites did this endgame go through? No, not really much. No. I think we got everything we needed to into it. When we planned it out, we had survival, basically. We had ideas for matches that would be for the last 3 shows, heading into survival, and then we would see what would happen at survival, and then pretty much adjust from there. We were originally going to have Scorpion versus Zubaz. You could tell we were going for that. And
That was the one
Zubaz
thing
wins
we
it.
built up for.
So we were considering Bowser versus Phoenix. And then we knew that Bowser and Scorpion never fought each other, and they both kind of had that same aura. So we wound up going with those two. So it kind of hurt Phoenix a little bit in the end, but
those are the only two that we ended up having to shuffle around because of what happened with Survival. So yeah.
Why didn't Woody get to come back to life? Well, he wasn't in the proximity when the code happened. Are you going to keep doing Tonos? I mean, I have one more Lifeline episode left. Beyond that, I'm not sure. I don't know if it would wind up being here or even maybe on my own channel sometime down the line, but it's not something I have plans for in the near future. I've mentioned to people that an idea that I would want to do is playing a lot of weird games. I played a lot of weird stuff on this over the years. Big Rigs, Lifeline, the weird edutainment games I played, like Sonic Schoolhouse, the Lenny games, things like that. I'd love to do like a weird game kind of thing like that. Something unique instead of playing all the AAA games or whatever. Stuff to give that attention. The weird side of video games, on the wrong side of YouTube. Why didn't you treat your EGW talent better? Wow. Blame
It's not our fault.
Blame
It's the
2K14.
game's fault.
Blame the consoles.
Yeah. I mean, you can only do so much to fight the game. Sometimes you just have to go with what it does.
So with Snake and Armstrong knowing who Octodad was, but Campbell not knowing, how many people actually know? I don't think we really had to specify, but it was pretty much going to be implied that just about everyone, aside from Campbell and Sagata and Raiden, knew for sure. I think that's what we were aiming for. And maybe Raijin. Fujin would have known all the time. Fujin's like the smartest person there who doesn't actually do anything. That's how I
One of the original ideas we had for like the epilogue was Fujin mentioning the thing with Octodad.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Bryn, no. Any favorite moments from Arena? I'd probably be biased about my own matches because those were really fun. I had a match as Table Son against J&T, who was playing as Mako, I think, the Vocaloid, and I had her to basically take all the tables and throw them out while he was trying to constantly put me through a table, and I kept trying to save the tables, playing totally in character. That was great. But the crazy plots as well. I mean, there's been so much of that. How could I pick one?
I'm trying to remember. Like, Arena's kind of all a blur to me, unfortunately. It's kind of hard to pick out a good moment from it for me.
I mean, we tagged up too. We were the Nightmare Express for one of those. Come on, motherfucker! Come on, motherfucker!
I still love the thought process that we had, thinking up the entrance for that. Like, we were trying to figure out something that would be in character for both of them, and we ended up coming upon I have a hat. He has a hat.
He has a hat. Best NWTO special moment, anything involving science, especially ladders and running up them. People didn't do that enough in Arena. That was
yeah.
Angles and matches you want to do. I think we answered that already. Uh, Favorite battle music to use. Anything by Falcom. I love Falcom's music. The people who do like the E series, Trails in the Sky, Brandish, all those. Yeah, Falcom. Anything from that would be my favorite. I didn't use it a ton, but great stuff.
Um, like I said, Wonder on the Offensive is still one of my favorites. And as far as like more battle music that we use, we ended up using a lot of like more recent Kirby music. Like I was I lobbied to use the Planet Robobot stuff and the like Smash Brothers boss music this time around. So there's that.
I keep saying I want to get this wrapped up, but we keep going.
Um, one more question. One more question. I think we should wrap this up. One more big question.
I would answer favorite minor storyline if I could think of one.
Yeah.
Again, my brain is mush right now.
Favorite minor storyline. I'm trying to think here. Favorite minor storyline. Hagar's head trauma.
Yeah,
Like
even though
that.
that kind of came up at a really bad time.
It came out because it was really at a really bad time, but at the same time, it was one of those things where we were just kind of running with it without having a real end, like an end point to it. But we realized so many people were like getting invested in it. The more and more we kind of like tease around with it, and it's kind of like, wow. We were completely shocked how invested people were with it. Like me, Cran, and Toe, and we just kind of ended up running a bit more with him getting more and more addled, and then using that as his final big eureka moment in order to push toward like finally having the face turn that people kind of wanted from him for a while.
I think this is a good one to end on here. If you had to
Yeah.
go through those all again, the good and the bad, would you? I mean, yeah, the good and the bad. We did have our down points, you know. I'm not gonna stray from that, but we've gotten some really great moments out of this whole thing. Um, I've gotten to meet a lot of people just because of this show. I've gotten to go to like conventions and work with some people, even like in the industry, some well-known people, really talented people, great people through this. And you know, when you also just airing a show, putting your stuff out there, something you've worked on for a while, um, and just seeing people react to it and see people enjoy it. Uh, you know, it's working on it that could be kind of a drag, but when you air the show and people enjoy it, it's there's nothing like that. So yeah,
Yeah.
for that feeling, yeah, I would do it.
Like I would not I would not have like passed up this opportunity for just because like I've ended up learning so much trying to just work on this. Like there are some regrets I have regarding like the community, but at the same time just working on all this stuff, being able to see the satisfaction of like people enjoying the stuff that I help like do. Like I've loved working on like the production side of things so much here. Like no matter like how tiring it is, like I've learned so much about like just amateur video editing, putting things together. It was like I would not pass it up for the
V-
life of me.
yeah, VGCW came to me at a time when I was really looking for some kind of creative outlet, and well, it
Same.
did wind up sucking up a lot of time from other things I also wanted to do. Balance has been tough, but you know, I've gotten to touch on a lot of stuff just for that. Um, a lot of stuff I want to do. Anyway, I think that's it for Q&A here. I do have a list of people that need to be thanked because beyond us, this show has a lot of people who have contributed to it in some sort of fashion, and I gotta at least get their names out there. So I'm gonna run through the list. I made a list before, and I'm figure I'm gonna wind up forgetting someone as well. But feel free to fill in holes near the end, cryptic,
Hmm.
or if you got any people too. Um, First off, I gotta start with the intro, people. Binbag McGraw, the guy who has been doing our theme song remixes from the very early Baza era.
Very, nearly the start.
He's been here for quite a while. He even wound up contributing to Phoenix Red Claw. Um, he done the music for Go Saves the World that we've used in Octodad matches most frequently. Mary You're Solid too for the Christmas episode. He's been very helpful, and we can't thank him enough because
If
he does stuff
anyone,
professional for us. Um,
if anyone deserves to have stuff monetized out of VGCW, it's him.
uh, let's see. We gotta also thank the people who also made the intros. We have Cryptic here. Um, we have Blouse who made one for season 11.
Mhm.
So that's an important part of the show, just to get people hyped up for that. So
I wish I remembered who made the very, very, very first intro, the one that, like, way back when, like,
I think it
the,
started with the Z, if I
yeah.
remember.
But I mean, whoever it is, if you know his name, thank you, thank you, thank you.
um, for the posters that we've gotten made over the course of the years, Maniac, who made the one for this one here for Endgame, he's also made it for Splat Refs. All the fan art, we mentioned this before. Thanks so much to him. Was glad to have him set up for that. And Potato helped out with a couple of the posters for the previous two Endgames, I believe. So thanks for his
Mhm.
help on that as well. Polybius, okay.
That's it. Yeah.
Probably didn't stick around that much longer after he made that though, but yeah, sorry
He
people in
left it.
Europe, we're wrapping up here.
Yeah,
Um,
he left a nice impact either way. And sorry, Jocko.
for the people who made the fantasy stuff over there, people keeping people engaged. That is an important part of the community, and I can't keep involved with the community as much as I would like to, because between getting spare time and such, making the show, there's only so much time I can really truly put to it. So thanks to like Foa and Moogle, I think you were the two who pretty much led the front on fantasy. So thanks to you two for that, for keeping people involved. Uh, we mentioned this before, but thanks to Justin Roberts and his manager Paul for the voiceovers for this show, for the main event.
Thank
Good
you for
stuff.
making something like our main event magical and just that sheer moment of geekery that we all shared in.
And thank you for Doc Gilgamesh for making that possible. I want to thank. I've met a lot of people I mentioned that have been in the industry, and there's people who've been plugging VGCW over the years. Um, we put them in the credits there at the special thanks, but I did want to at least highlight a few standouts to me, at least personally. First off, DJ Wheat, you and the Twitch crew, you've been amazing, especially just for setting us up here for Endgame, this last Endgame, getting us on the front page. Twitch Weekly last week.
Thank you
Getting to
for
meet you a
all
few
your
times
support.
too. I got the chance to meet Wheat a few times, and he's always been a gracious person. So I'm really grateful for the help he's given us, for getting exposure out there. We got a lot of viewers today, and I'm sure their help played no small role in that. I have to thank Jared, who I don't know if he's still here. He wasn't here before, but
Hey, Jared, if you're still out there, we miss you.
yeah, I've had the opportunity to meet him as well. Most recently, a couple months ago at PAX East, and he's always been fantastic, helping us out. Initially with our run for Twitch, back when he was working there, and he moved on to 2K, and he rooted us on, gave us some exposure with the Giant Bomb dudes, and moved on to Nintendo, and I hope things are going well with him there. Uh, More of a personal one for me, Aaron Treitz, formerly of Harmonix. I'm not sure what he's up to right now outside of League of Heels, which I've been had a chance to run with, and we got the BDW out there working with another video game wrestling uh, fed out there. So pretty crazy. So thanks, Aaron, for that. And the last one I got is people at Young Horses Incorporated, the people who made Octodad, for probably the coolest shout out we will ever get for putting VGCW up there as a poster. Virtuous Gentleman Championship Wrestling, I believe. I don't know if the C stood for something
Uh-huh.
different.
That's
Yeah,
yeah, virtuous gentleman.
that blew me away. So I don't know if
I,
they had a chance to see it, but awesome.
and also just thanks to Giant Bomb because they were one of the guys who were crucial to like spreading the word for us earlier before and stuck with us for a while.
Yeah, I've had the chance to meet Jeff and Alex too, and good guys. They've given us shout outs and a lot of praise, so definitely. Okay, going down the list. Okay, I hope you're still up. Fitz. Fitz. The man who has been outside of pretty much anyone who's worked on this show, maybe even more so, still, the hardest working dude on this. Um,
We're sorry for keeping you up.
For those of you who are watching on YouTube, leave a comment and give Fitz some love. The man deserves it for all the time he has spent just recording this, sitting there twiddling his thumbs and watching this and waiting for us to end the damn show already. Um, and for all the upload time that he's had to spend. I'm sure he's going to be mad at me saying how long it's going to take to upload, but
We're very, very sorry for how long we've kept you up both today and for Endgame 11.
so for you, you get to riot one last time, and we won't do anything about it, even though we never do. So, kudos, Fitz. Thank you so much for all you've done for us. Um, Still shorter. I don't know. With the post show, we're getting there. We might be past it. Doom and Naughty, they were the people who really dug into this game and how it ticks pretty much, and that was
Hmm.
the basis of making our matches, work. So for their R&D and help on that, invaluable. And for them taking over WVGCW with Bryn stepping down, wish them the best of luck. They're crazy people for going to 2K17, but they're determined, and with them bringing Nap on as well, I hope it all works out. I'll try and catch what I can.
Looking forward to seeing what you guys make, guys.
To John, you and your crazy EBW shows, always going to the beat of your own drum, for what people might think are for better or for worse. You know, um, Personally, uh, if there's one thing I've felt about this show is that I wish I was able to make it my own a little more, because I had to take a roster that was given to me by Baza, and make the best of that. And in some cases that worked, but if there's one thing I could have done differently is maybe try and start from scratch a little more. And John's kind of done his own thing a lot, and some people maybe not be into that, but some people might. I think we need a good variety of shows on this. Um, Different approaches, taking risk. I think having John there, trying some different stuff out there, that's valuable to us. And maybe it doesn't suit everyone, but I think he's got a good place. A place that I appreciate. So thanks to John for that. To Belmont for Arena for BWA for coming back. Good luck with that on Sunday. Season 3. Be here Sunday, May 14th, 6 p.m. Eastern. For taking a big lead on the community side where I couldn't really fit in. Um, I don't know if I can officially announce this, but he is probably going to be the one who winds up taking control of this channel. I'm going to be relinquishing it to him. Not finalized yet, but it's likely him. So I don't know if that really necessarily means that he's in charge of the whole thing. I don't know if that's how that's all going to work out, but best of luck to him, and thanks for all he's done to help out with the community and be more involved with that. You know, he's had a chance to work with them closely in ways that I kind of wish I could, but I also had to do my own thing as well. There's that balance, and he makes that work for him. I'll do what I can on my side, and you know, we've gone along with that. So best of luck. Hey, Botanic Sage. Hey, look who's there. He made that crazy smash up of Scorpion DK back in the Vaz era. All right, we're getting down the list here. To Cran, I don't know if you're still hiding in our Twitch chat. I know you haven't been around as much since taking off at season 12, but for the 2 seasons that you've been under my staff, thank you for putting this plot together into something a little manageable for us, and for the crazy video editing stuff that you've done for us as well. The end game X1, the crazy stuff with Sagata Autodad, the Game Shark, that was a very memorable moment, and the courtroom promo, that kind of stuff, the Mega Evolution announcement to go with that, you know, um, regardless of where things stand, I don't want to get into that stuff, but you know, you've done some great stuff for us, and I've been glad to have you as a part of this team, man. So, thanks. For what I stole from you. All right, this cryptic guy I have on the list, I don't know what he's doing.
What did he do?
Well, apparently he was on my creative for seasons 11 through 13. What was he?
I don't know. I don't remember him a lot of the stuff that he did.
It's kind of a blur.
Yeah.
Uh,
Mm.
for those two
Mm.
seasons, and especially this one, because with one less person, that's more work to go for us too. But Cryptic's been huge for me. Making the intros that he's put together, crazy stuff, the video editing. When Vaz handed the show over to me, he said that I was pretty good on video editing, and well, I was getting there, but Cryptic's been carrying a heavy load from that. I think if it was 3 of us on creative, I was probably least doing production stuff. Actually, I was just trying to put it all together, make decisions, write stuff, get it in the game. You know, Cryptic did a lot of the crazy stuff that we've had out there. Anytime you saw like a Genie code come up there, that was Cryptic. Um, so working with him has been great, and we got a chance to meet up a couple times too. We were at a Zelda escape room, kind of an escape room, this past weekend. So doing that in the middle of Endgame, making that kind of took us out of the element a little bit, but it was needed. So,
It was much needed, like palate cleanser, just to try and refocus ourselves, and it was fun as hell.
but between you and Cran and the late nights that you put into this, you stayed up later than me usually, and I wouldn't want you to do that, but you did it anyway, without any complaints, and you know, total trooper. So, thanks, man.
And
Uh,
thank
okay.
you, Toe, for picking up the reins and being the guy to take up the front, because honestly, I don't know if I could have managed being like the front man for the entire thing of this. Like, you probably had like a lot more patience for some of this stuff than I would have, and just being able to run, manage, and just kind of like delegate all of this, making it into a coherent product. Thank you, Toe. Thank you for like helping extend this out and doing a far better job of picking up the reins after Vaza than I'm pretty sure a lot of us would have. But thank you,
Welcome.
Toe.
Welcome. Uh, question earlier, did we beat the escape room? No, we were on the last clue, the very last clue. If we had 2 more minutes, we
Ah,
would have
we,
won.
we were this close. We were this fucking close.
If you
Oh.
got that in your area, give it a shot. It was fun. Well,
And there's also a Final Fantasy one coming up, like late summer, early fall. Same 8 cities that the Zelda one did. So you might want to check that out sometime.
yeah. Okay, so we're really close. I got 5 left here. Bryn, this dude, the backbone of this entire thing to me. Um, just from starting up the dock to get things organized and bringing me on board too to help with that and the wiki when we were trying to build that out. Making the forums, essentially giving us a community. Um, being the longest running showrunner on this entire thing. Over 4 years. He's done it longer than anyone else here. Um, I hope you guys who are watching still here go see Breakdown for him because that is his last show. Uh, I'm not sure if VGCW would still be around solely because of him. He has done so much more than pretty much anyone else, I think. Um, the imagery, I mean, even the logo I have right here. This is his work. Um, the endgame logos we've used, all the production values that he brought and kind of inspired us to bring to our own shows. This dude, talented as hell, and I hope this isn't the last time we get to work on something together because I wish we got a chance to collaborate a little more. But yeah, man, friends very important to this whole thing, and I've been glad to know him. Okay, to of course the guy who ran this before, to Baza, for creating this whole thing, for entrusting me with it. Um, just starting from a person who kept track of rumbles, who came in, what order, what the elimination order was, um, and just entrusting me with the show, with the work I started putting into it. He initially, I mean, the story, I don't know how much has gone around, but I was initially offered to get one of the PS3 shows on W13, I think, back then, to run either the women's division or like a B show, like I guess something like when SNST came. But I didn't have a PS3 at the time, and I wound up sitting on it. But I wound up making VGCW at home instead, so I could still be involved with that. Um, and then he wound up entrusting me with this in the end, and he's still been helping to plug the show. He helped a lot um, today, putting out that video and getting people to show up uh, just to get together. And I've had the chance to meet him last year. I can't believe it's been a year already, but I was glad. I was glad to get to meet him. I got to understand him a little more, and for some reason, the time I had dinner with him was also the day he got engaged. For some reason, I can't believe that was also how that worked out. I didn't know until I actually was at dinner with him. But either way, hell of a guy. So he's had his share of love, and he deserves that. So thanks to Baza. People laughing at that. All right, last three, almost here. To people, uh, we've gotten so many people who have donated over all the time, a lot today too, and I need to thank you all for your support. I know who some of you are from username to personal name, and I know I haven't come forward to you because I didn't really want to feel like I'm embarrassing you or something. But thank you for those of you who have put anything in. It's not something that we look to make money off of, but if that's the way you try and show your appreciation, it's much appreciated. And we try putting that back into the show, like Justin Roberts, the commission for that, for instance. Um, I use that to commission the poster for Maniac, things like that. So we try to make use of that. And I'm going to try and spread this around to other people too, who deserve it once I total it all up. Because, like I said, there's a lot of people that make this whole thing come together. And not just me, it's a ton of people. And that leads me to the next one. Everyone who's contributed to this show in some way or another, whether you made a call, a moveset, you've made suggestions in the music suggestion thread, uh, any suggestions at all, really. Fan art, if you've thrown out any sort of sharing on your tweets, retweeted our show announcements on there. Try to tell your friends, let them know about this awesome match. If you contributed, if you try to support to this show in some way, that's how we started. We got off of word of mouth, and that's thanks to you. And it's thanks to you that we got over 2K people too. I saw people talking on Twitter and such about the show. So, there's a lot of people that make this whole thing come together. So, give yourself a round of applause. pat on the back, whatnot, because this show doesn't happen without you guys. So thank you very much. And just in general, anyone who has even viewed the show, you know, anyone who's come back here and been able to enjoy it, just being able to see you guys be happy, see you guys entertained, see you guys enjoying things. Um, that's what kept us going, and that's what makes it worth it. So, thanks for being a part of this whole thing. All right, that's all I've got. Anything from your Uncryptic?
Um, I think that's about it. I'm trying to think of anything else that comes to mind right now, and I think we've covered it pretty well.
All right, we've gone
And
way
I'm
over
probably going to
20.
catch a lot of shit because someone's going to bring up something that I or Toe miss a little later. So we apologize if we missed you guys.
Yeah,
We love you.
seriously, it's just because there's so many people that put efforts in some way, some form, towards this whole thing. You know, it doesn't happen by one person. We kind of put that in the show a little bit. You know, a war isn't won by one soldier. Uh,
If it
what's
wasn't
that?
for the community, this wouldn't have happened.
Or was that something that Snake said if he was going to win the match? That was one of the lines in that. But either way, that is true though. So you know, we mentioned it before though. Keep watching if you like what you see. If you still want to be a part of this channel, still sticking around. Um,
Don't be
WVGCW,
afraid.
BWA, EBW. You have two big pay-per-views and a season opener for all of those shows combined. That's pretty great. Um, especially Catch Breakdown for Bren, because that will be his last show, whenever that winds up being. I think he mentioned something earlier, but I didn't get a chance to see it in chat. Uh,
Don't be afraid to do your own thing. Like a lot of us, like me and Toe, we got working on this because we were inspired by it and did our own things with it. There's always similar outlets. Don't be always try and find something you can contribute, even if it's not to this. Maybe it's something a similar stream. Maybe it's start your own stream. Start some idea you have, like with a different game. It doesn't even have to be a wrestling game. It could be trying to make something weird out of like something completely different. But I mean, take inspiration from it, use whatever fuel, be inspired, and do your own thing.
Creativity is found in many shapes and forms, even if it's in the shape of a dumb video game wrestling show. It's an outlet.
Even if even if it's constrained by TH quality and 2K quality.
Just find your thing, man, and run with it. Okay, I think we need to close up here. We've been running this for a very long time, over 5 hours combined with the main show, and I was hoping we were going to be doing this for more than 30 minutes, and this has been over an hour.
we have so many questions.
I know. The last announcements. Sunday, BWA, 6 p.m. Eastern. Please be here. I won't be here. I'll be on my birthday, but good luck to Belmont. Good luck to the people helping him. I don't know all the people involved with it, but good luck to them all the same. Bren, good luck with eating. Good luck with Breakdown. Go watch that whenever it's announced. Kill Screen, EBW. Check that out. Lifeline, whenever the hell I can get to it. It's going to be on the forum somewhere probably. Thursday, Saturday, maybe Tuesday, I don't know. But it'll probably be popped up, and if you want to join me for that, it might be my last stream on here for a fair bit. Feel free to do so.
I'll possibly try and find some game stream to do myself eventually down the line. Won't be next week. Probably won't be this month, but eventually soon. And I might be trying to find something to contribute to the continue contributing to the channel long term. We'll just have to see where the future goes. If for any further updates, there's always our forums at VGCW.net. Go there for any updates regarding show times, when they're going to be happening, any further announcements for any of the shows that are still going to be going on.
And happy
And
birthday, Doom.
happy birthday, man. You've been with us for God knows how long. Probably
Is he even here?
longer than
Is he even
I
here?
don't know. He might be out. I don't care.
Uh,
Happy
happy birthday
birthday,
all the same.
man.
Happy birthday all the same. Uh, okay. Yeah, VGCW Discord. Give it a look. Get in touch. I might pop in there every once in a while. I'm on break for a little while though. Okay. I think we need to wrap this.
Let's do this.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone, for being here and making this your Tuesday night tradition.
And may all those who follow on this channel continue to keep up the traditions in their own way, the best way they know how, and hopefully that's something you guys can continue to enjoy in some way or form. Thanks, folks. This is Toe and Cryptic. This is Endgame X3. This is VGCW,
And tonight was the night.
the final
See
night.
you guys.
Thank you for being a part of it. Catch you later.